What's up, everybody? Greetings. It has been a hot minute. I hope everyone's doing well. Welcome aboard the new whip. You guys haven't seen this yet. I've had it for 6 months or so now. Bought it right at the beginning of the plague, and then kind of just parked it. I rode it a little bit here and there, but I'm just now kind of being able to get out and really kind of use it. We've finally gotten a little spell of camping weather here in Florida. I think the high today is like 75, the low is like upper 50s. Perfect. And so I dusted off all the old camping equipment and figured I'd go out and give this bike a run on the camping mission. I still have the V-Strom. I really can't think of a scenario in which I would ever get rid of that. After that long trip, I've got such a sentimental connection to it. And when you combine that with it, it's just not worth all that much if I were to sell it. I just can't really think of a scenario where I would get rid of it. But I wanted to try kind of a new thing. I've wanted something like this forever. I've talked about it for years. This is a 2000, I think it's a 2015. I should know this. I think it's a 2015 Honda CRF250L. I got it for a song. I got a crazy good deal on it. It's only got like 2,100 miles on it. And a few hundred of those, probably 400 or 500 of those are mine. I'll show you guys the bike a little bit when we get to the campsite, but came with the tank, came with the Wolfman tank bag, a couple of little, very minor kind of upgrades, but otherwise bone stock, and I love it. Fun to ride, whole different experience compared to the V-Strom. So, hope everyone's doing well, staying safe, staying healthy, staying far, far away from the Rona. I know a few people that have had it. A couple of them had kind of no big deal symptoms, and a couple of them were extremely sick. It seems miserable, so I certainly don't want it. So what I think I'm going to do tonight on this little overnighter is like, oh man, like, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, I did a video, I think it's called like motorcycle camping setup, and I kind of just showed like the equipment that I used for motorcycle camping back then. This was before that big trip. It was kind of when I was figuring out what kind of system worked for me. And it's always like around this time of year when kind of camping season gets close, I start getting excited about it, and I find myself on YouTube watching, you know, camping videos and outdoor stuff again. I was watching that video. I went back and was kind of scrolling through my channel a little bit, and I was watching that video, and it kind of struck me how the system hasn't really changed between then and now as far as like what kind of equipment I use, but the specific things, almost everything has changed. So I thought tonight I would do like an updated motorcycle camping setup video. A handful of the things those of you that watch the channel will have seen in the past couple of years. I've been using pretty much what I'm using now. Obviously right now I'm using a different ride, but anyway, I thought it might be interesting to see kind of what is still around and what's been replaced and what's been upgraded, and even kind of in a way you could say some things have been downgraded. Certainly a lot of the stuff I use now is less expensive than the stuff I was using back then and serves my purposes better. We're just doing a pretty simple campground kind of situation tonight, nothing too crazy. Anyway, I'm almost here to the state, I think it's a state park where I'm camping tonight. So I'm gonna get checked in, kind of get to the site, and then I'll bring you guys back here in a few minutes. Little Manatee River State Park. It's about it's coming up on 2 o'clock. Time changed yesterday. Love this time change. I'm a creature of the night, and it's getting dark now before 6 p.m., which I'm just like loving it. So, all right. Hope everyone's doing well. We'll check in a little bit here. Man, it was like busy roads all the way here like traffic and construction. Ugh. This bike handles, you know, basic street riding pretty well though for what it is. It's got pretty off-road oriented tires. I'll show you guys those in a little bit here, but you know, it's pretty comfortable up to about 65 miles an hour. Beyond that, it's getting wound out pretty good and not wobbly, but it doesn't feel the most stable. It is nice to be kind of just in a little bit of a cruise situation now. All right, we'll check in a few minutes here. Oh, that was supposed to be through that. Whoops. Well, I'll show you guys the setup here, I guess, real quick. So yeah, 2015 CRF250L. Only a couple of little modifications. Handguards, upgraded shift lever. I put the tail luggage rack on it. Came with the Wolfman, it's the Expedition or the Enduro. I can't remember what this bag is actually called, but it's really nice. And it's like brand new. DrySpec, I can't remember the model number on them. I'll flash it up on the screen. They come as a set of saddlebags, and then this top bag I just got recently on Amazon. Gonex dry bag, just like a big duffel. Yeah, dig it. Looks pretty good. Kind of all kitted out, like ready to go. I'll load it up. Yeah, I'll start pulling stuff out, and we'll start talking about the current motorcycle camping setup. So this is that duffel. It's the Gonex. It's available in different sizes. I got the 60 liter, and it seems to do the job just fine for me. I was able to just pack my sleeping bag in its big loose kind of the laundry bag kind of thing that it comes in. Normally I pack it down into like a, well, no, I didn't bring it, into a like a stuff sack that like ratchets out, like a compression sack, and it'll take it down to about like yay big, like about the size of a football maybe. But with this, it's nice. I don't even have to bother, because getting it in there, it's kind of a pain in the ass. So the sleeping bag just fits in there. We'll talk about this later. Big Agnes Air Core Ultra sleeping pad, and the Summit Aeros Pillow, air pillow. These are like the key for me anyway to like a perfect night's sleep when I'm camping. I sleep as well when I'm camping as I do when I'm home, which is vitally important to enjoying camping. Cook set, we'll talk about that later. We've talked about this before, but it's different from the last motorcycle camping setup video. This is the Helinox Chair One. Cannot say enough good things about this. I'll show you this here in a bit. Tent, same one it's been all along. The OG REI Passage 2, and the stakes for that. And this is a speaker, a radio. It's got like an SD card, so I can have just music on it. I can plug my phone into it. You know, just a music thing. And that's it. You can see this thing is cavernous inside. I mean, this is let's see. Here's the cook set. And then, I mean, you can see what that does in there. I mean, it's just room for days. Like I said, this is the 60 liter bag. Pretty cool so far. I like it. You know, I haven't tested it in rain or anything. It's got a little, where is it? It's got a little internal pocket on this side that appears to actually, yeah, I guess it snaps out. And then it's got a little, I think it's got something else. No, I guess not. A little pocket for a, if lost, please return, kind of, slap a business card in there or whatever. But, oh wait, yeah, no, there is. Yeah, there's a whole separate thing down here. Oh, and a shoulder strap. Didn't even know it came with it. So, what I like about this is that it's got, oh, that's wet storage. Okay, cool. That's wet storage. It's got some drain holes on it. So, what I dig about this is it's got plenty of, like, well, not plenty, but enough loops and stuff that I was able to use to easily secure it to the back of the bike. So, yeah, we'll come back and talk about this stuff here in a bit. I like to kind of create a barrier over there, so maybe I'll put the tent kind of here and move the bike over here or something and have this area all back through here as my zone of leave me aloneness. Alright, we'll check in a little bit. Alright, I guess we'll start with first things first and go ahead and get the tent set up. Like I said, this is the REI Passage 2. Cannot say enough good things about this. I've been using this for, say, maybe 8 years, including a long trip all around the country where I camped a ton. And it's still, like, literally, I don't want to even jinx it, but like it literally is kind of like brand new still. So awesome. That's the REI Passage 2. It takes about, let's see, about 5 minutes to set it up without trying to hurry. Just kind of taking your time and doing it. I also use the ground sheet. I had to buy that separately. I use it just about every time, just because why not? I feel like it's really helped prolong the life of the tent. But, and I showed this on the last version of this video, but it was a while ago. But nice tent, 2-person, plenty of room. Big vestibules on both sides for rain protection for some equipment and stuff, and plenty of room inside for 2 people. Little pockets for little mesh pockets in each corner for, you know, cell phones and headlamps and whatnot. And then there's a gear loft that comes with it. I never use it, but it came with it. Up above, you can string that across if you want to hang something there. I've just got a hook there that sometimes I hang my headlamp from as kind of an overhead lamp when I'm, you know, changing clothes or whatever. But can't say enough good things about this tent. Like I said, I've used it, I don't even know how many times. I mean, I've been using it for 8-9 years now of like pretty steady camping, and it really is like new. It's crazy. All right. The Air Core, I'll go ahead and blow that up most of the way, like 80%, and throw it inside just so it's kind of almost ready when I go to bed. You gotta top it off anyway when it's time for bed, as the temperature drops. But yeah, slap that and the pillow in there, the sleeping bag, and then maybe grab my chair and just kind of chill for a little bit. All right, we'll check in a few. I'm gonna spare you all the huffing and puffing, but I will show you. This is the air match, the sleeping pad that I've ended up with. So it's the Air Core Ultra, a big Agnes. These are not cheap, but I think they're worth what you pay for them. I've had air mattresses that, you know, the valve develops a little leak, or you get a pinhole pretty easily or whatever, and that makes for a miserable night. So this has this kind of new style of valve, as opposed to the screw down ones, that kind of the metal ones that they're kind of a pain. This one's a lot easier to get it really, really full, which I like, and then I feel like it blows up faster, and it also deflates a lot faster. So big Agnes Air Core Ultra, 20 inch by 72 inch. It's about I don't know, 3 inches thick, I would say. I'm a side sleeper and I sleep like a baby on this. Anyway, there you go. See a Summit Aeros Pillow Ultralight Regular. Very, very small, packs up to nothing, like a, you know, can of V8, even smaller, I would say. One thing I learned recently after getting woken up too early, too many times by the sun, is I just threw a sleep mask, I can wrap it around this inside of the pouch. So I don't usually sleep with it all night. I don't find these super comfortable for a long time, but if I wake up in the morning and the sun's starting to come out or whatever, then I'll put it on, and it allows me to sleep much better than if I don't do it. So, but this little guy blows up in like 2 or 3 breaths. And she's good to go. This is plenty thick for me to, like I said, I'm a side sleeper, so I like a bit of a thicker pillow. Yeah, and then, like I said, I just blow the air mattress up kind of 80%. That makes it easier to get it into the tent. It's still kind of like, it can kind of bend and stuff. And like I said, no matter what, you're gonna have to top it off when you get in there anyway to go to sleep at night. So that's how I do it. And then I'll take the sleeping bag out of its thing and throw it in on top of everything, and then pretty much ready for bed whenever that time comes. So that's the sleeping situation pretty much sorted. I like to have it done kind of early, as soon as I get set up, so I don't have to think about it again. It's not that it's a difficult thing to set up, but it's just nice to know that I can kind of get to doing the camping thing, and whenever it's time to go to bed, I'm pretty much ready to go. This is the REI Radiant. I think it's a 20-degree bag. I don't know why it's not printed on the, you know, like where it has the model. I don't know why it doesn't have the temperature rating, but I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, that this is a 20-degree sleeping bag. I've slept in temperatures like high 20s in this, and had no problem at all. Like, slept just fine. And then, like, you know, when it's warmer, you know, tonight's gonna be like in the high 50s is gonna be the low. I'll generally kind of just unzip it all the way and use it more like a blanket rather than getting all the way inside it. But it's works out for me in kind of all the conditions I would be camping in. I'm not going, you know, camping in polar situations anytime soon. So put the sleeping mask over there, and then just keep the kind of cases or the pouches for this stuff stuffed away in the corner, and we're ready whenever it's time. Go to bed. This is one of the things I pretty much always have with me when I'm camping. It really works as like a lunch, but like I didn't really eat lunch today, but this kind of fill in as a holdover between now and dinner, especially when it's going to be something like a mountain house, which is a huge meal for one person. But these are killer. This has been the closest thing I've been able to find to like peanut butter packets. I don't know why this is like a difficult thing to find. I found the little cups, but I would love to just be able to find like basically the MRE peanut butter. All right, well, I need something to drink, but outside of that, that was delish. All right, those of you that have watched the channel have seen this plenty of times, but if you have not, or somehow are not familiar with this, This is a game changer when it comes to chairs. This style of chair has become very popular in the last few years. Like when I first got this, I feel like it was kind of a newer thing, but now there's like everybody and their brother. These guys used to be the only ones that made it. Now there's like 30 knockoffs on Amazon, but it's such a good design for being a comfortable chair. That packs up super compact. So this is the Helinox Chair One. They also now do the Chair Zero, which I also have, but I pretty much just use that for like backpacking trips. This looks kind of crazy when you first pull it out, but everything is shock corded into place. So you just, all of the poles kind of automatically kind of just line up to where they're supposed to go. You can't get it wrong. What I normally do is I hook the bag over the rear poles here, and that way it kind of just lives with the chair. There's no chance of losing it or having to walk around going, where the hell did I put the bag for this thing? It just always stays with the chair that way. So I've had this one for quite a few years now, and it kind of starts getting where the shock cord is kind of loose. In fact, I sent it back once and they replaced it, but it just, I don't know, over time it kind of just loosens up and these don't want to stay put. Sometimes you can stand up, you get up out of the chair and one of them gets pulled with it and you gotta sit back down and it's loose and stuff. So for that reason, and also the fact that these are kind of small anyway and they tend to sink into sandy ground, which we're kind of dealing with here. I got the footprint, which kind of pulls double duty. The main thing is it keeps it from sinking down into the ground, but it also kind of provides like more structural integrity to the whole thing. Like it kind of just keeps pressure on the whole situation, and keeps it all like super stiff and like kind of together. So really this is sold separately. For me it's like a must-have if you have the chair. Super comfortable chair. You can chill by the fire all night in this. You can see this one has been the victim of a few burns and whatnot, but it's held up very, very, very well. This went around the country with me on that long trip. In my mind, this is a necessity. On the first version of this video from like back in the day, I was using that REI stowaway chair, which is cool, but folds up much larger than this, like probably 4 times the volume. It's also heavier, and honestly, I think it's less comfortable than this chair. So there you go, Helinox Chair One. I've pretty much always like kept some kind of bag in with my camping stuff, a small bag that was kind of the first thing to come out when I got to a campsite, whether it was a small backpack or whatever, that just kind of had the things that I'm going to want kind of right away when I get to a campsite, whether it's my gloves, my knife, my headlamp, just various kind of things that it's nice to know exactly where they are. It's nice to have them all together, and it's nice to have them in a way that you can kind of just grab, like my fire kit, just pick it up and go. Like if I'm out somewhere like way out in the woods or something, I'm gonna go for a little kind of mini hike after I've already set up camp, I'll take this with me because it's got kind of all the things that should I get lost, I've got the basics with me. If I can start a fire, I've got lights, I've got my gloves and my knife and whatnot. So this particular thing, I think I've shown this before on the channel, but this is a chest pack that was designed by Jason from the Primal Outdoors YouTube channel, which is an awesome channel. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend you check it out. But he does more like overlanding and stuff. It's really cool. But he developed this, like basically this is a pouch made by, I don't know, Condor or somebody. Okay, let me just knock that out of the way. But Jason developed this harness to turn it into like a chest rig. And so, not a chest rig, but a chest bag or whatever. So you can strap this on to your chest, and it kind of just lives right there. And it's nice because, I mean, it's a lot of equipment. I'll show you what I keep in here, but it keeps a lot of equipment right at your fingertips, but it's not all like on your belt and in your pockets and in the way. It's like you sit down in a chair, it's no problem. It's like, that's a good place to have stuff like up high on your chest like that, because it's not in the way of anything really. It's all, you wouldn't maybe think that, but once you know, the first time I put it on, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this makes perfect sense. This is a great place to have all this kind of stuff. So this is the back of it. This is, you know, this is the part that would ride up against your chest. It's got this nice mesh situation for your back. These are the shoulder straps. So, you know, if I'm wearing it and looking down, kind of this is what I'm looking at. So I'll just show you guys what I keep in here. I keep my camping gloves in here, of course. I have a few different pairs. These are kind of for the when it's not super cold. I always like gloves that have a leather palm, so if I pick up something hot, I don't immediately burn myself or have some kind of synthetic material melting into my hand. Knife. Mora. Once I discovered Mora, I haven't turned back. I've tried a couple different models. I'm currently using the Light My Fire, which I like. It's, you know, I don't really use the fire starter every time or anything, but I do like, you know, it makes for a nice spare. These knives are just, for me, they're just the perfect camping knife. They cost, you know, nothing, and it's just the right size. You know, I've batoned wood with these a ton of times. You know, you got to be careful because it's not a full tang, but for me, I used to carry around this big Gerber, I think it was the LMF2, but kind of quickly discovered that a smaller knife is much more useful for all kind of comprehensive camping tasks, you know. Then what I also carry as far as that kind of stuff goes is the Bahco Laplander saw, which for, you know, processing firewood and whatever is just perfect. I used to carry one of those little kind of chainsaws that fits into a pouch. It's just like a piece of chainsaw chain with like nylon, you know, loops at each end. You can kind of hold it, and that works, but it seems like a lot more work and kind of not as precise as this guy. This is a great way to process firewood. A Toaks Titanium Spork. And then I also use sometimes, like, you know, if I'm out with the boys or whatever, and we're doing steaks and stuff, then I've got, this is a whole, like, this is a half of a whole thing that is like the other side is a spoon and a knife, I think. But those tools I have handled with my Mora and my spork, so I just keep this half of it, which is a fork and a wine opener. So handy little thing to keep around. I've also got an actual wine key, and then I also keep one of the most important things I think you can have when you're camping, which is a good cup. This is the Sea to Summit X mug, and I've been using this specific one since I started camping, and absolutely love it. Hot stuff, cold stuff, no problem. It doesn't retain taste. You know, if I make coffee in it and then I have wine in it that night, no problem. Super handy, super useful thing. And then here I just keep my lights, my headlamp, which is a black diamond, kind of an industry standard, and my flashlight, which is a ThruNite, what is this? Archer 2A V3. This has turned out to be a great little light. Very, very bright flashlight. And it just uses two AA batteries. All my batteries for the lights I keep in here, and then the fire kit, which is a lighter and some wet fire and petroleum grease and cotton balls and just fire starter. There's a ferro rod in here, and you know, just whatever kind of fire stuff I happen to have in there at the time. So, and then I've got a little buck knife on the front that I'll use sometimes for just for a quick task if I'm wearing it. I can just kind of pull it off, pull it out of there. Just a little guy. But this whole thing is nice because these are all what I consider like kind of the necessities besides, like, you know, wine. These are like the necessities for camping, and it's nice to just know that when I have this, I've got everything that I really actually need to kind of, you know, successfully camp and, you know, survive out in the wilderness or whatever, or a campground. It also just all happens to fit kind of perfectly in here. Super sturdy. Feels very like a very well-made thing. I don't know if Jason still sells these. I'm sure if he doesn't, somebody does, you know, something similar. I'm sure somebody would have ripped it off because it's such a good design. I'll show you guys kind of how it rides, just to give you the idea. Like, that's kind of how it rides, and you can just snug these down to pull it kind of in, and it kind of just rides right there. You know, it doesn't interfere with a backpack. You can still wear a backpack with this. It's killer. I mean, you can put, you know, you got molly webbing on the front, so you can put more here if you wanted to. This is also Velcro. It's awesome. But anyway, it's one of those things that this always kind of out when I'm camping. Yeah. Chest pack. Been a game changer. 5:40 p.m. Temperature is starting to kind of slowly drop at this point. It's getting kind of, it's a little breezy and a little chilly. It feels great out here. So, just kind of chilling. I think I'm going to get a cigar going and just hang out for a bit. Sunset is like pretty soon, maybe any minute now. It'll probably be dark in about 30 minutes, I guess. So, all right. Yeah. I'll check in a little bit. Some of the things you gotta have when you're camping, at least for me, not that you gotta have, things that I would like to have when I'm camping. Decent cigar. In this case, a pretty good one. Decent book. Got a little scotch going. Got a bottle of wine for later. So once it's dark, we'll get the fire going. I'm pretty sure I've got enough wood to get me through as much of a fire as I could possibly want to do tonight. This is a monster right here. Big fat one and stuff. So I think we're in good shape as far as that goes. A little bit of a gear explosion here. Not too bad. Mostly just kind of groceries and food and stuff. What's up, everybody? It is about 7:30. Got the fire going about, I don't know, 45 minutes ago, hour ago. Just kind of chilling. It is a beautiful night, like crystal clear. I don't think I've mentioned this before, but one of the things I love and I really enjoy when I'm camping, I kind of only really listen to it when I'm camping. Sometimes if I'm on like a road trip or something, but there's a podcast called The Futility Closet, and that's it. It's a really awesome podcast. I'm not usually one to be like, hey, you got to check out this podcast, but it's a husband and wife, and each episode they'll like kind of tell this like some kind of crazy story from history, but it's not like some kind of like history, you know, story from history that we've all heard and we all are familiar with. A lot of times it's kind of like bizarre or super kind of fringe. It's hard to explain. But it's always really interesting, and then they'll kind of read like a recap of it, or kind of present like a recap of it that's, you know, maybe 10 minutes long, and then kind of discuss it a little bit, and then they'll go into like listener emails and stuff, which are always kind of all over the place. A lot of times they kind of refer to, you know, the previous episode, but all kinds of just interesting stuff. And then one thing that I really like that they have in every episode is at least one. Actually, I think they have a couple. I don't know what they call lateral thinking puzzles, which is kind of like a what it sounds like. It's it's just sort of like a verbal. It's like a kind of a longer form riddle, I guess you'd say. It's like a verbal kind of puzzle. They'll present kind of situation that on the surface doesn't make sense, and you have to kind of pick your way to the answer, using yes or no questions. So they alternate each week or each episode. One will kind of present the puzzle, and then the other one will be asking the questions, trying to figure it out. And it's a fun thing. You can kind of try to figure it out as you're listening. But I don't know. It's a really chill podcast. I'll show you guys kind of just what it sounds like. I'm in the middle of one right now.
It's my turn to try to solve a lateral thinking puzzle. Greg is going to give me an odd sounding situation, and I have to try to work out what's going on, asking only yes or no questions.
This is from Jeff and Emmett Moxon. A man is out shopping for his wife's birthday, in particular for a necklace. He goes to a nearby shop and sees a beautiful necklace that he knows for certain his wife would love to have. The necklace is within his price range, and bringing this particular necklace home is sure to make her happy on her birthday. However, he does not buy the necklace. Why?
Does he know that somebody else is going to give her that necklace?
No.
Okay. Did it have to be a necklace for this to make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
So anyway, that's kind of like, in that particular type of segment, they'll go back and forth just with those types of yes or no questions. And it's cool. You can a lot of times you kind of get there before they do, and other times I'll have like no clue. But it's kind of become like one of the soundtracks to my camping experience. I mean, I'll listen to music and I listen to other things and stuff, but Futility Closet has really become one of the things that I look forward to kicking back by the fire and listening to a couple episodes. They're not very long. Each one's like, let's see, this one's 33 minutes long. So I usually download a couple of them before I go camping and just kind of chill with that. But yeah, they're each about 30 to 35 minutes long. Very interesting, all kinds of like, let's see if I can show you like some of the topics. Oh man, I'm getting smoke in my face. Ah. Anyway, maybe that'll give you an idea of what it's all about. But if you're looking for something kind of interesting to listen to, and it's not like they don't debate anything, and it's nobody's trying to be an expert on anything. They kind of just, come on, focus. They kind of just like present these interesting stories and kind of talk about them. You wouldn't say you really learn anything. I mean, you learn the history of these little stories, but it's not like an educational thing. It's just entertaining. So, smoke, man. I'm a smoke magnet. A little bit, we'll get the vino going, and then tonight for dinner, it's going to be we're going easy style. It's going to be a mountain house meal, either lasagna with meat sauce or chicken fried rice. I love these for camping. I mean, they're almost zero effort, no cleanup, no nothing. I still do the old chicken and rice thing, which is like probably my favorite thing to do when I'm camping, but I don't know. I wanted to minimize the cleanup and all that tonight and just make this one super, super easy, lightweight, kind of chill mode. So yeah, we'll check in a little bit. All right, well, I reckon it's about time to get into this a little bit. This is just a Stanley flask. I'm not even sure how long I've had this or where I got it, but simple little contraption, of course. The catch-all cup I use for everything. And a little, I think This is Glenlivet, I think. I kind of just rotate through a few different scotches that I have at home, but yeah. Hope everyone's doing well. It's good to be out here again. Beautiful night. Been jonesing to get out and camp on the new bike. So yeah, cheers. All right, it's about 10 to 9. About time to get the vino going, I would say. Tonight, as I mentioned before, this is kind of like the 2.0 version of the video I did years ago on my motorcycle camping setup. I thought it'd be interesting to see kind of how it's changed. As I was watching that, I realized that I was drinking this wine, so I've got the same thing for tonight, just for old time's sake, I guess. But tonight we're going with the Joel Gott cab. Oops, there we go. Joel Gott. I think the last one was 2011, and now we're on 2017. Again, cheers to everyone. Been away for a while from this. I'm kind of looking forward to getting the channel back up and running. Yeah, tastes good to me. All right. There's something immensely satisfying about sitting. I've been just chilling like right here. You know, just chilling by the fire and look up and there's like a motorcycle right there. I mean, those of you that have motorcycle camped or are into it know what that's like, you know that feeling or whatever, but there's just something about, you know, the bike and then you get in the tent and there's like a helmet and motorcycle gear, like the whole thing is just so like satisfying. I don't really know what more to say about it than it's just satisfying. But anyway, we'll make dinner here in a little bit. Like I said, it's gonna be a Mountain House meal. Super easy. I'll show you guys the new cook set, which is one of those things that's, I feel, a pretty big upgrade, and I mean a percentage of the price of what I used to use, just a fraction. So I think I've stumbled across, at least for me, what is like the perfect like cook setup. So yeah, all right, check in a little bit. Okay, I think we're in good shape now. I had to replace the batteries in my headlamp, and now I can actually see what I'm doing. So the cook kit that I use now has changed quite a bit. So I used to use a GSI Pinnacle Duelist with the bowls and the cups and the MSR Pocket Rocket stove and everything that, you know, the whole like high-tech setup, and it works great, and I can't fault it by any stretch. But I have found a smaller setup that works better for me, and I feel like it's just kind of a better overall kind of thing, and that's this. This is the Stanley, I'm gonna have to put it up on the screen exactly what it's called, but it's the Stanley, you know, cook pot something, I don't know. But you can get these all day, every day at Walmart or whatever for about 15 bucks. And it's just a super basic stainless steel pot. And I have found this to be, I'm going to dump everything into this cup here, I'll get to that in a second, but I have found this guy to be perfectly adequate for all of the I don't know, all the camping type cooking that I want to do. A lot of that has become less of like chicken and rice, which is like, you know, the Nora rice size and stuff, which are great, but they're and they're a lot cheaper than this option, but require a little more cleanup and a little more like in the way of like scrub pads and soap and cleaning the whole thing up and stuff, and it kind of, I'm not so sure that it's worth the extra effort on a quick solo overnight kind of situation. Whereas for just boiling water, I mean, you can cook in this 100% no problem, but where this really shines is just boiling water, instant coffee, tea, you know, dehydrated meals, these Mountain House meals, whatever it might be, like just a quick, like easy way to boil water without having to think about much of anything else. This shines because it's stainless steel. It's single-walled stainless steel, and so you don't have to use a stove. You can just stick it right in the fire. And if you look at this, you can see that it's been in a fire or three. But this has just like been a total game changer for me anyway, where, you know, I don't have to, like, you know, if I want to do the stove, I've got, I'll show you this little guy, this little BRS titanium stove. It's about, I don't know, 1/10 the size of an MSR pocket rocket. This thing's about $12 on Amazon last I checked, or at least when I bought it. And it screws right onto the, you know, these fuel canisters, same as the pocket rocket. But even with these being available, I don't know. It's nice to have that option, and I keep one of these on hand, and this fuel canister fits down inside of this pot, no problem. All right, sorry, camera battery died, but I just wanted to show you that if you take one of these little scrub pads and put it along with the thing, it like fits right into the cup and nests like perfectly, you know. You know, I keep inside it, I keep a little bit of dish soap, an extra spork, a little thing that I created with measurements and, you know, whatever for water and stuff, and matches and a lighter. All this fits inside along with the small canister of fuel, the what is this, 110 gram, you know, the small fuel canister there, this one. So anyway, but the beauty of this system is that I only have to use the stove and the fuel and all that, like if I have to use it, like if I don't have if for some reason I didn't have a campfire, but every other time I just stick the thing right in the fire and boil water that way. So this thing calls for 1.5 cups of boiling water. So I'm gonna boil that up, and then we're just gonna pour it in, let it sit for I don't know, a few minutes, whatever it is, and be done with it. By the way, look at the expiration date. Best by May 2050. I hope I'm still camping in May of 2050, but this is getting eaten tonight. So, all right, we'll check in. We're gonna get the water going, and we'll go after that. All right, this pot has like markings for volume, and this second one, I don't know if you can see this on the camera, it says 12 ounces, 355 milliliters. That's a cup and a half. I'm gonna fill water to right there. All right, I'm gonna slap the lid on it. I'm gonna put it in the fire, and we'll check back in when it's boiling. All right. No, that's not gonna work. We're gonna put it right here. Oh, by the way, one of the things I didn't mention is that when you get this, if you get this cook set, which is like 15 bucks at Walmart, when you get it, it comes with a little like green plastic tab on the lid, and you're gonna want to immediately get that little green tab off of there and just put a key ring in its place. That thing is fireproof. Green little plastic tab will melt. So, alright, it's been a few minutes. Let's check on the water. Yeah, I'd call it a boil. Alright, so we're going to put this into the Mountain House meal. Oh shit, that's hot. Just going to pour the water in. I'm going to grab my spork. Set this to the side. I'm going to close the bag up. Oh, it's already set for 5 minutes. Perfect. In the meantime, cheers. Hope everyone's doing well. Staying healthy, staying sane. Timer went off. We're going to open this up. We're going to stir it. We're going to close it back up. We're going to set the clock for 4 minutes. And then it should be done. We'll see how this turned out. It should be done now. I can guarantee you one thing, that it's like crazy, way too hot to like try to eat right now. Ask me how I've learned that lesson. So for now, we'll stick to this. Delish. Alright. This is the Mountain House lasagna with meat sauce. We'll see how it is. It's been sitting out for a couple minutes now. You know, enough to cool down, hopefully to a reasonable level. Looks kind of like a Chef Boyardee kind of thing, but I feel like this is like a step above that. Oh yeah, it's good. This is like definitely a suitable meal for 2 people. I can't get the cheers in. There we go. Cheers, y'all. Alright, it is just after 11. I ate more than half of that meal before I had to call it quits. Still got some vino left. We'll get to that here in a minute, but the spork is put away. The beauty of that whole situation is the cook set is like, you know, you boil water in it, you dump the water out, you let the thing cool down, you put it all right back together. Easy, greasy. Yeah, this is where we stand right now. Like I said, it's about 10 after 11. I'm gonna finish the vino, chill by the fire. It's been a good night. I've enjoyed my time out here. Enjoying the weather, enjoying the campfire, enjoying the music, the food, the whole situation. So we'll check in the morning. Hope everyone's doing well. Y'all have a great night, and I'll talk to you mañana. There's some serious heat coming out of this fire right now. Good morning, everyone. It's about 7:20. Just woke up, gonna start getting moving here. Slept great as usual. The tent is a hot mess as usual. But the beauty of this whole situation is that, you know, I can wake up and be pretty much on the road in about 20 to 30 minutes. Which for me is a vital part of enjoying this whole thing. If this was a 2-hour pack-up process, that would just be miserable. So anyway, I'm gonna get started, and we'll check in a little bit. I think I may do, yeah, I'm gonna make a cup of coffee.
Yeah, let's say that's ready. This is hands down my favorite instant coffee. Alright, boys and girls, that is gonna be that for this trip. Had a good time. Kind of interesting to see how the camping setup has changed and kind of also not changed. So, alright. What do you think of my new saddlebag? Pretty nice, huh? Yeah. See you next time. Thanks for watching.